Okay, so we are going to be doing a review of Batman Shaman. Now I have never read a Batman comic. Oh, friend is here, by the way, and he's never read a Batman comic. So this is going to be completely new for me. So I thought what I would do for both the Batman Shaman and the other comic that I got, Spider-Man Noir, is I would do a pre-review, which is what this is. And that's going to be discussing what I know about Batman, what I'm expecting from the comic, and then after I've finished it, I'll do a review about the story, how much it differed or was the same. You know what a review is, I hope. So that's what we're going to be doing. So my pre-review for Batman. I know very little about Batman. I know that there was a TV series in the 60s. I've gone up to the Batcave at Griffith Park. I know there's been a lot of movies. There's video games that I actually have on my phone and have never played. I've been planning to, and maybe as a little addition to the review, I'll try to play one of the games that I have. I'm not going to get far in it. If y'all thought I was bad at Beauty and the Beast, there's no way. Anyways, so Batman was a kid, and his parents were killed during a robbery because his family was very wealthy, and so he grew up very wealthy and wanted to use his wealth to, like, bring criminals to justice. And so most of his gimmick is just that he's rich and he can create all of these contraptions that can help him to defeat criminals that the police aren't capable of doing, like the Batarang and the Batmobile and the Bat theme song. Dun-na-na-na-na-na-na, Batman. Was that just for the 60s? I think it might have been. I know he's a good guy. Little flaunty, but a good guy. And that's pretty much all I know about Batman. Oh, he has a sidekick. He has a teenage sidekick named Robin, who I think was about 15 or 16 in the original stories and series, but may have been aged up a little bit in the future renditions, because I don't think they have him going to school anymore, which he did in the 60s version. There was a lot of the 60s version that was just like about things that were happening at the high school. I think that's where the Bat Watusi came. It was a school dance or something. I'm gonna be looking for the series to do a review on that eventually. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the book, and I will tell you. Okay, so from what it looks like on the cover, and from what I'm seeing, the word shaman, that means like mystic or magical person, doesn't it? So is Batman turned into a shaman for this one, or is Batman fighting a shaman in this one? I see the bad guy has a gun, but shamans don't usually need guns. Batman doesn't normally need a gun either. So I guess I'll see where the gun comes into play. Okay. I have just finished book 1 of Batman Shaman, and I am so fucking confused. I was correct in assuming that a shaman was a mystical healer. What I'm confused... Okay, this is apparently an origin story. I guess all of them are origin stories. He gets a new origin every time somebody else makes a book. I don't know. Unless this is a hallucination, it would appear that in this book, Batman's parents were killed by a snowman. Hold on. I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit this button. I don't think I'm wrong in assuming here that Batman's parents are being killed by a snowman. Okay then. That's the route you're gonna take, book? That's the route you're gonna take. Alright. Well, so we're starting out with Batman and this other guy up on a mountain, and for some reason Batman kills the other guy in a really graphic way. Like, he stabs him in the gut, and then when he comes to, he's like, don't worry, I'm gonna choke you out. What? Friend, you're getting too friendly here. You see the premiere of the Batsuit in this one. He has yet another grand opening of it. He is a dick. That's what's bothering me about this. He's exploiting the shaman's gift because he's hurt on the mountain and he's taken in by these people, and they have a mystical shaman who tells Batman a story, and it heals him. And then the village girl takes him down the mountain to the next village to make sure he gets there. She makes him promise not to tell that story to anybody else because it healed him. It has healing powers, and other people would use it, would exploit it. It's a sacred thing. So the first night that Batman goes out, he gets fucked up and hurts himself and is almost dying, and he tells Alfred the story, and he heals, and now Alfred knows the story to tell him every time he gets hurt, and he's just going to go about exploiting this Native American ritual that he promised he would not do. I get that he thinks he has money and he can just do whatever he wants, but this is pissing me off. And I'm only at the end of the first book, and so the second night he's out, he runs into this group that he's out looking for to kill them, but they've got a girl that they've taken. And for some reason she kills herself after seeing Batman transform into a bat to escape the bullets and then come back down to avenge himself. And she kills herself because she freaks out after seeing this. So I'm thinking probably that she knows about the ritual, and she's not used to seeing it like off of the mountain or something, and it freaked her out. But yeah, apparently in this book, Batman is still trying to avenge his parents, who were now killed by a snowman, and he's exploiting a Native American ritual in order to do it. And I no longer want to finish the book. It's that upsetting to me, and I'm hoping that there's some kind of repercussions to doing this to Batman, for Batman. I mean, obviously you can't end Batman, but like, I don't like the concept of this story. This Batman book needs to be thankful it's a library rental, because I would be causing physical damage to this motherfucking thing. It is making me so fucking angry. Bruce Wayne, Batman, fucking knows the story is magical because it rescued him multiple times at this point. He knows for a fact that the story has mystical powers. He's telling it to people. Not just Alfred. He told it to this fucking Dr. Spurlock guy. And then he gave this Dr. Spurlock guy money to fund his research and shit. So this Dr. Spurlock fucker takes his money and goes to the Alaska tribe where Bruce learned the bat story. And he's given the elders of the tribe alcohol and drugs to get their stories out of them. And he's left with their stories and some of their artifacts. And the old man that originally saved Batman is shamed and disgraced. And he's now doing mystical tribal dances to buy alcohol because he's just an alcoholic now. I'm supposed to like Batman, aren't I? This is the good guy? This is the guy I'm rooting for? No, fuck him. I want him to fall off a fucking mountain. The Bat Mask has now been given shaman powers. Because I guess they finally decided to get silly with this. I'm not kidding. Look. And when he puts the mask on, he feels something strange. So, he's gone back to the village and spoken to the granddaughter and gotten slapped by him, rightfully. Should have kicked him in the nuts, too. When he found out that the grandfather was down on his luck because of what he had done. And so they all piled up into the truck to go back to the tribe, and they got in an accident, and they went into the water. And Batman is trying to save the old man using the story. And he's saying he can't do it because he doesn't have a mask, but he didn't have a mask when he told Alfred the story and it worked, or when he told Spurlock the story and it worked. And I understand that they have these masks and that they do use them, but they don't seem pivotal. It seems like it's the story that is important and not the mask itself. But now they're making the mask extremely important because Batman has a mask. I hate this. Maybe I'm just not a comic reader, but I hate this. He's rich. I hate this. Okay, so I've just finished the book, and I'm still mad at it. It's still not okay. So one thing that I neglected to mention in the other videos, because I figured it was a big boss thing, I would just mention it at the end. The masks and the stories were all related to there's this guy using the superstition of the stories and Chubbuala to control a whole bunch of people, and they're doing human sacrifices and shit. And so Batman finds out who this guy is, and he sneaks into his house, and he sabotages his equipment, like puts acid on his vest so that he can penetrate through it with the knife and make it look like he's stronger than he's supposed to be. And so he breaks into their underground fortress or whatever where they're doing a human sacrifice. And he plays his little trick and he does his little speech. I'm more powerful than you, ha ha ha. And puts off the ballistic stuff that he put in his jacket to explode and make it look like he's attacking him without actually touching him. And it's stupid. It's stupid. And then he goes back to the girl to apologize again and tell her it's okay. I told the press that the story was made up, and she tells him it doesn't matter what you've told the press. It matters that you told people this fucking story that I made you promise not to tell because it has these powers. And the whole time, like, the whole thing hinged upon, oh, criminals are superstitious. The story has real power. It's not just superstitious to believe in something that is very real. Batman knows that it works. He is actively using it to keep himself alive after his many failures. It's not superstition. I don't understand, and I hate Batman, and I'm starting to agree with the Joker that we should just kill the Batman. That is clearly the option here. He was the problem. The entire problem was that he wanted to use this power for himself and thought it was all superstition. Even after being proven that it was real, he was like, it's just superstitious nonsense. Motherfucker! Does being rich mean you have no common sense? Is that something you were not able to buy? I'm done. I don't ever want to read another Batman comic.